Hi, I'm Jay Jacobs from PopEntertainment.com. Nice to meet you.
Hi, great to meet you.
So tell me, what exactly was it about this script that sort of intrigued you and made you want to be a part of it?
Many things. I really liked Anna as a character. I saw a lot of myself in her, and just kind of that ambition and that competitiveness. But I also, wanted the challenge of talking to the camera. I wanted the challenge of playing a character so confident, and then, who goes through this incredible arc of learning and growing. And yeah, so I think there are so many interesting little bits in this script that really, really caught my attention.
Well, I thought it was very funny that Honor thinks that she's like this big puppet master and she's taking care of all these things and moving everyone in her ways, and yet she's not, as it's pointed out in the movie, she's not really, she's too good-hearted to really hurt the people she's going against. Was that fun for you to play as an actress?
So much fun. I mean, also that, she's constantly surprised by people. She thinks she has everyone figured out, and then they keep surprising her because she hasn't made the effort to get to know people. She puts people in these kind of stereotypical boxes and then is confused when they don't act in the way that she expects them to. So I think she learns to really open up to other people and to be vulnerable in forming connections.
Yeah. Now, I know that you're very into literature, and I thought it was interesting that it was a point made a few times in the movie that Honor sort of considered the Handmaid's Tale as sort of her defining book. And I was wondering if maybe, because that's sort of a book that's been very much in the news right now, that was something that you had any involvement with, or if it was something that, or if you're familiar with the book, that was one that you sort of resonated with you, or what?
Yeah, I hadn't read the book before I got the script, and then I read it after I got the job, and I loved it. And I think there are so many interesting things in there that are very applicable to now, and really resonate with everything going on now. And also, there were many quotes in there that connected me more to Anna as a character. There are lots of things about kind of hiding yourself and protecting yourself from harm in a way. So, putting on a show, becoming someone else to appease certain people. And I think that's very relevant to Anna as well.
Right. So is bread love?
You're the second person who's asked me that, and you know what? I think yes. I love bread.
Okay, great. Now, when there's a terrific cast of young actors there, and some older actors too. But what was everyone like to work with?
Fantastic. The whole cast is just great. Everyone was so committed and so into it and so great. And those were my favorite days when all the young people were on set, all the stuff in the theater, all the stuff in the chemistry class, like all of that was just such a treat to film. One of my favorite aspects of the movie is Anna's friendship with Kennedy that kind of slowly develops, and I loved building that with Amy. I think it's so special, that friendship.
Yeah, did you have any special favorite high school films that may have sort of inspired you when you were making this film?
Clueless is one of my favorite movies of all time, and I think the journey that Cher goes on is kind of similar to Anna's journey. I think Cher learns a lot more. I think Anna's quite a lot more clued in than Cher is. But I think that kind of character arc is very similar. And Election, I think Tracy Flick is a great parallel for Anna, and that was a movie that I rewatched to prepare.
Okay, great. Well, thank you so much for this, and best of luck with the movie. Hope it does well. Thanks.
Thank you so much. Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.
Yes, hi,
Any
I'm Jay
negatives?
Jacobs from popentertainment.com. Nice to meet you both. Really enjoyed the movie.
Thanks so much. So nice to meet you.
So, what exactly was it about the script that first intrigued you and made you want to be a part of it?
For me, it was I love being a part of something that teaches people something and that can actually start like a movement and start a change in people's lives. So when I read the script, I almost even without seeing it and just reading it gave me a new perspective of things. And so I knew that once the film was actually made, it would be 100 times more impactful than that. So for me, it was just being able to tell a story that hasn't been told that much, and show kids that it's not always that scary to be yourself.
Well, I thought it was very interesting because she's sort of trying to make herself out to be this big puppet master and change everything. And yet, as it's pointed out in the movie, she's too good-hearted to actually try and hurt the people who she's going up against. What was it? Was that sort of fun to play against her with her supposedly pulling your strings and yet not necessarily doing so very well or not trying too hard to hurt you or anything?
I think Honor is such a good person that she almost sometimes doesn't even realize she's helping people, and she thinks she's not. So yeah, it was cool to work off of her character, and it was really fun to work off of her breaking the fourth wall.
Yeah,
it would be interesting. Sometimes we'd be in the middle of a scene and we'd have to continue with what we're doing while she's just like talking to the camera. So that was new because it's still not done that much. So at least for me, I haven't done a project like that before. So that was fun as well.
Now, Amy, your character was very, very uptight, to put it nicely. Was that difficult to do as an actress? And in what ways was she even somewhat like you?
Yes, absolutely. I mean, I would say there are some similarities I shared with Kennedy that I definitely had to just lean into a lot more. I mean, when I was really little, I kind of was like that at times where I'd kind of look around and be very precocious and look at other kids and be like, grow up. Like, and I think I would like to think I've grown out of that. But in order to prepare for the character, I think I just really leaned into that. And even, in the hours leading up to filming, would have to get pretty in the zone, kind of journal in the character of Kennedy and think like, okay, what would Kennedy be doing? She'd be approaching this in a very intense way. And then of course, I think the challenge was once I had that hardened shell, now how do I, show some of the cracks in that? How do I still show the humanity of Kennedy and, that she's a human? She's like a soft person inside too.
Well, for both of you, how far do you think you would go to get the dream recommendation to the school that you want most?
Not that far.
Yeah.
But no, I get it. I think high school sometimes it feels like that's really what you're there for, and it's just like a gateway to your next step. But I think sometimes people forget to just have fun and live in the moment because you're not always young.
Absolutely. Yeah, I think in some ways I was like Honor, not in the cutting other people down way, but just in trying to be like this perfect student and do all the right things. And even looking back now, I'm like, you know what? I could have enjoyed high school a little bit more. I could have.
Well, yeah, it always happens there.
Now, do you have any favorite high school movies that might have sort of inspired you when you were getting ready to do this film?
For me, it was probably Booksmart, honestly. We got a lot of Booksmart vibes, especially from the way it was shot and the way it looked. So it's always fun to have a little bit of inspiration in mind, whether it's the acting or whether it's the realism or just the style. It's fun to be passionate about a different movie or a different project you did or you saw when you're working on a new one.
Absolutely. I actually, as inspired by our hair master Jessica, she told me that I should rewatch The Breakfast Club, and so definitely Allie was one of my inspirations of just another really stark, interesting character that really kind of marches to the beat of her own drum. And then additionally, for my own personal research, I watched a lot of Bloody Mary history videos just to get a little extra research in.
All right. Well, thank you so much for speaking with me and best of luck with the movie.
Thank you.
Okay, bye.